a few of my mom's bred heifers that are left to calve. I'm gonna unroll the bale for the rest of the cows, and then grab my dually and a trailer and load a tractor and get ready to head about 3.5, almost 4 hours northeast of here, and make a trade on a tractor. Kind of excited about this one. It's a tractor the tractor we're trading came in recently, and had a guy interested in it with a trade-in that's perfect for me. So that's what we're gonna do this morning. But for now, we're just cruising out of the farm in the old 81 Dodge with, you know, minimal working gauges as you'd expect. But that's just how old pickups go. All right, might as well fire this up. I got to put the spinners back on because I used this to haul a sickle mower and a little spring tooth cultivator yesterday, but no big deal. We'll let this fire up and warm up this morning. Fuel injection's kind of nice. Huh, wonder what's going on there. Weird. Now, I'm sure a lot of folks have been around bale beds, but for those who haven't, this pickup's got a Dewey's bed on it. Control everything through a remote, but there's also manual switches on the bed. I'm not a hydro bed guy. I hate the cables and the knobs, and this is what I'm used to. I had a hydro bed here for a little while. Didn't really like it at all, actually. Just the cables and all that was a big nope for me. But to kick the pump on, you just switch down there and turn my remote on, and yeah, we just press unload, and yeah, get the arms out, get a hold of this bale, get centered on it, and go feed the cows. You'll have to excuse the look of some of these bales. These are like 2-year-old alfalfa. They're holding up pretty good. Maybe even 3-year-old, some of these. But yeah, we just squeeze her and lift. That's pretty much it. Now, I'm not using the bullnose with the 6.9 in it usually during the week, because on the weekends I usually have kids with me, and that's why I wanted the crew cab bale bed pickup. This one's just for weekday use mostly. Just my good old 88 Chevy. Had this thing for 3 years now, and truthfully, like, I need to put rear springs under it because, yeah, bale bed life's not easy on springs. You just need to put some heavier ones on it. But other than that, haven't done a whole lot. Put tie rods on it, stuff like that. Tires, pretty basic stuff. I cleaned up a lot of wiring on this thing when I bought it. It was pretty cobbled together, some of the wiring at that point in time. Net wrap everywhere, gotta love it. But yeah, good old pickup. I've used this thing a lot. It's handy for a lot more than feeding cows too. And I've still got a 1988 Kansas license plate on it from Norton County. You can do that in the state of Kansas, run older plates on your stuff. So I just found an 88 model year plate and put her on. And I don't know about you, but I love the sound of glass packs in the morning. It's just better. Short commute today. And another thought while we're talking about it, as far as electric fence goes, I have a preference on how I like my gates. Not necessarily the look of them, but if I drop a gate, I want the gate to be dead. That's why I got the fencer right here, actually. That way, as soon as I unhook this gate, the gate's no longer live. So if you happen to drive into it, get into it, grab a hold of it, you're not going to shock yourself. And I've only got like a 1/4 mile here that's actually dead, that just goes behind the windbreak. And it's the same on we have another gate on the other side. I have it set up kind of the same way. Don't want my gates hot. let's go unroll. This is just Milo stubble. Actually, where we ran the little Massey 18 combine, got almost a full half section of Milo here. Cows have been on it for 45-ish days now, and really, I mean, still lots of stuff standing out here. They'll get moved off of this in the next couple weeks to where we calve. But yeah, anything with a pink tag is my mother's. You just had to jump right in front of the pickup, didn't you? Move. Anything that's a red colored cow with a red tag or green tag is mine, and then a few of the green tags out here are mine as well. Most of my animals are red Angus. Dads are generally the solid black ones. And actually, I have a few black-white face out here, and there's a gray out here that's mine, and my wife's, I guess. But my animals are predominantly red Sim Angus cows, bred to black Sim Angus bulls. Pretty much the gist of it. Nothing too wild. It's a little rough out here, can you tell? We ripped the terrace channels last year, and so every time you hit a terrace channel, it's like washboards. Where I've been unrolling though is where we took silage off with the silage sorghum up here. On this portion of the field, like 30 acres. And so that's why I've been unrolling, more or less. Don't know why. Just like to unroll on this. Helps maybe add some nutrients back to it since we took so much off doing silage. A little sunny out this morning, can you tell? I'll just cut this net wrap and unroll. This bale's probably just gonna go pop, honestly. And then I'll come back and grab the net wrap over there from yesterday. These bales, because they're older, if I try to take the net wrap off them and get it out from underneath them, they'll just explode. So don't usually try to take the net wrap off them. I'll come get it tomorrow. I know some people will argue with me. Cows will eat that occasionally, but not if they're well fed, in my opinion. And these girls are, well fed. But yeah, we'll come back and grab that after we unroll. Honestly, they're a little slow. Let's just throw it on the pickup. That way that doesn't find a planter. It's about the worst when that finds a planter or a flex head or stalk rolls in your corn head, or yeah. All right, we'll see how this goes. I doubt it goes very well. These bales have been, yeah, they just kind of go pop, unfortunately. We'll scatter it out as best we can here. Usually I feed a bale every other day, but with these, since we're not unrolling the best, been doing one a day lately. And we're getting closer to calving, consumption's higher, things like that. We'll switch to silage here pretty shortly. That one didn't unroll too terribly bad though. I mean, it made it a little ways, but they'll get her cleaned up. That's what they do. They got plenty of Milo out here to eat too. Come back tomorrow and grab that net wrap and do it all over again. There's Mom's winter caber. I guess, let's load. I have let the trailer parked it out here in the sun. It was kind of in the shade, trying to get the frost to burn off and all the moisture to burn off the trailer this morning, so I got traction to go up and over the fenders, because what I'm loading is heavy, admittedly, and not heavy, but wide. So we got to go up and over the fenders a little bit, and I got blocks here. And actually, I have no brakes on the tractor, so I'm actually going to put the jacks down and tip the trailer up just a little, give myself, have gravity help me stop. Let's go with that. All right, jacks are down. Trailer's tipped up a little bit. I mean, a few inches there goes a long way. I just don't care to tear up my pickup or the trailer jacks too much more than that. But what we're after is that Ford over there. Actually, which you guys have seen came in not that long ago, but I got a trade-in I like for it, and so why not go that route? Honestly, it works good for me. It's always entertaining to keep trading too, but it's been sitting here idling for about 15 minutes. I rubbed the duals off of it to keep the dad's TW5 and kept the front weight bracket. So we'll drive it over there and back up to the trailer. High range first. I love the foot throttle on these Fords. I spent Tuesday afternoon in Dad's TW5 feeding a grinder, and so we're getting pretty comfortable in these things. Honestly, they're good tractors. They really are kind of ones you forget about, in my opinion. They're just, you just don't run into a ton of them, not as much as you run into, you know, 4430s and 1066 and stuff like that. Underrated. But I'm gonna back up close to the trailer here, stop, make sure I got those blocks sitting on the deck where I want them, and back this sucker up. Cinched down. I'm gonna stop by the house and grab some food, some drinks. I'm full of diesel. Get rolling, right? Go. Actually, I need to take that one side panel off this thing. But other than that, yeah, we're ready to rock and roll out of here. Nothing wild. We do have a little bit of drive though, headed to Neely, Nebraska. And we made it. Uneventful trip, which is good. And suddenly I feel like I might be in the right place, considering, well, there's a cab right there, and another Ford tractor. But I'm gonna get this thing down off the trailer. I see the trade-in sitting over here, but we'll wait a minute to show it to you guys, because, well, why ruin the fun, right? Well, the TBO20's sitting over there waiting. We just want to look at the trade-in while we wait for the other party involved here. And I'm pretty tickled with this, actually. One of those tractors I've messed with very similar, but have never messed with a 1030 case. And as always, another dual loader I didn't want. But that's okay, we'll go home. Probably just take this loader right off, honestly. It's kind of my thoughts. Yeah, 1030 case. I haven't looked and seen what model year yet, but obviously it came out of Iowa at some point in time in its life, so you get that I-State goodness with this thing. And kind of looks like it's been pretty well taken care of and spent a good bit of its life inside. The decals on it are very nice. This thing could clean up really good, in my opinion. Hood, he said he just got done putting the hood and stuff back on it because they were doing some work on it. That's totally fine. I think it might have had an egging cab or an aftermarket cab, judging off the step here. That looks very egging to me, but I could be wrong. But definitely makes it easier to get on and off of versus the factory style steps. 18434 rubber, I believe. They're full of fluid. Just don't touch it. Fenders are quite nice. At least this one here is. Tank's got some damage. A lot of times when you have a case with 3-point, you see that tank damage. Like I said, nice fender, 3-point, 2 remotes. I think I saw one of the remotes here. Yeah, it's dripping on the ground. That's not all that uncommon. Yeah, it's just they're running one remote constant flow back to or up to the loader, so pretty easy to drop this thing off. This fender is very, very nice as well. Got the extension for the cab there. Really doesn't show wear from a cab, which is interesting, but it's hard to tell. Said he just changed fuel filters and stuff in it. Big old Bosch injector pump there. It's got oil in it. A little low, no big deal. Yeah, doesn't look like the pumps have been off of it any time recently to me. Yeah, pretty nice. Normal leaky valve stack stuff. Looks like it might have used to been constant flow on a PTO pump, but somebody changed that. Here's your dealer decal from Carroll, Iowa again. Loader's actually pretty nice too. Not that I give a shit. He's gonna hand me a couple wheel weights and a dual hub too, just for doing the transportation side of this deal, which I greatly appreciate. Yeah. I got up here. It shows 3,860 hours. Could be original. I don't know. I haven't fired it up yet. Case things. Yeah, we'll stick with that in a minute. Oh wait, no. It's that's heater. This is to run. Oh man, what a honey. Oh yeah. That sounds good. I'm excited about this. I've had a lot of 930s and not a single one of them has been a row crop. I've had 830 row crops, but never a 930. So I'm actually fairly excited about this. And most of the 930s I've had are hand clutch tractors too. So this is good. I'm good with this. Tack isn't working, so who knows on that. No fuel gauge. That's alright, no big deal. Foot throttle. It's good. I like the sound of it. Really like it. I like it. Sounds good. Fired right up for me. Seat's nice and new looking, so got that going for me too. Steps are nice. It's got some Samson tires on the back. Those are fine. They're good. 8-bolt 1016s on the front. I'm pleased. This is good. Good tractor. Good trade. I'm not complaining. He's not complaining. Everybody in this deal is happy. And he's got all the parts, to my understanding, to make that TW20. Pretty solid tractor. I think he might be putting that loader on it even. So all is well here. We'll just hang out. All right, new day, Friday morning, home. Got home last night about, the sun's really bright this morning, about, I think it was 8:30, 8:45 with the 1030. Didn't film video, or didn't film loading it, anything like that. Doesn't really matter. You guys see me do that 100 times. Tractor drove on great. Yeah, nothing real interesting to report there, but we're gonna feed this morning. I'm in the big crew cab bullnose this morning because it was at the house, and it's the only pickup I had at the house besides the Ford Ranger, and I was like, what the hell, we'll just start this, go feed, and then go unload that tractor. And I'd like to definitely get the loader itself dropped off of the tractor just to look at things closer. I don't know about the loader frame yet. I noticed the left-hand step is kind of attached to the loader frame, unfortunately, which, I mean, we can cobble or cake that deal back together at some point in time. But yeah, really nice tractor, really pleased with that thing. The the drive up from here to Neely, Nebraska is a bit of a haul, especially if you're staying off the interstate. Just a lot of 2-lane, middle of nowhere roads between here and there, which is fine. Just takes a little while to get from A to B. You don't really realize how big Nebraska is, but it's pretty big. But we're gonna grab round bale here this morning and go feed again. I've been using this thing quite a bit actually, especially on the weekends and stuff like that. I haven't tried to tow or anything with it like that, but we ended up putting a radiator in it. Tire steering pump had to get replaced. I did thermostats, stuff like that too. Radiator hoses are all new. All the clamps are new. All new hoses back to the bed. I think that was a part of the original video with this thing, but it's pretty good, really. And I cleaned it up really good, exterior wise. Interior is fairly clean. No, still need to order seat covers and stuff like that, but it's been good. A little leaky, especially, I'm not sure if it's steering lines or what like that, but yeah, that's a little leaky. But other than that, it's been really good. It is not fast. It really isn't good for, I mean, it barely goes 55 mile an hour. Let's go with that. So we don't set any land speed records with this thing, but it's a good farm pickup, good user. Gives me the choice to haul kids around when I'm feeding, which is perfect, and in style too. And like, honestly, if we ever kill the 6.9 diesel, which I don't know if we ever will, but if we do, if it becomes a money pit, we'll probably swap something else in, because it's a really, really solid old pickup, just slow. I mean, you could swap in like a Cummins with a 4-speed overdrive trans and be quite a bit better off, in my opinion. Get down the road at like 65 maybe, it'd be cool. And it'd be nice to fix the gauges and stuff like that. And I'm still having problems with the charging system, but I just kind of charge the batteries on Fridays before I use it all weekend. It's not all perfect around here, but that's the gist. We're gonna go feed now. And truthfully, like, the turbo whine on it's good. It's fun to listen to. It really, truly is. And it's a really, honestly, pretty nice driving pickup. And it's comfortable as heck. These seats are great. Oh, we found second gear just in time to slow back down to open a gate. Guess it's time to unload this thing. It's about 30, probably about 40 degrees now. We'll look. 38, my phone says. Pretty nice out, really. Sun's out, nice and bright. We'll see how this thing starts. It got down to about 32 last night, so not cold. These things have an intake heater on them, so you just never know how some of these old girls are gonna start. Shouldn't be too bad, though, I would hope. I'm gonna set you guys up here. We'll get it started, get the loader up in the air, and get it down off the trailer. I'm probably gonna drive it over there next to that 2355 loader and get rid of the loader itself. I'll probably leave the mounts on here for a little bit, but I'd really like to look just at the tractor itself without the loader in the way. All right, let's see how starting this goes. We're gonna hold the manifold heater here for about 10 seconds, maybe 15, I don't know, might be 30. Hopefully the manifold heater works. And then we're gonna hit the starter button. Just try to give it the best opportunity we can to get started. Hose is rubbing on the hood, leaving marks. That's unfortunate, but okay, we can clean that up, I guess. Here we go. Maybe not. Something's acting up now. Huh. Oh, darn it. I'm gonna go with no. don't think the grid heater is actually doing anything. We'll go feel the plug and see if it's warm. Nah, ether. Not bad, just needs some incentive. That's okay. I think if we got the grid heater working, it'd be better. Down unloaded. I lifted the motor all the way up so we can look at this better here. We're going to let it sit here and idle. But honestly, really nice, straight appearing old case. And I think we'd be surprised how nicely it would polish up. Dripping water. Anyway, just let it off here shortly. I just wanted to rip it up and walk around real quick. It sounds really good. Not missing anything like that. He said sometimes if it sat for a while, it would hang in the injector for a little bit, which is pretty standard stuff, really. And I know the power steering is a little funky. These 30 series power steering leaves a lot to be desired anyway. There's a filter in these you can change, and we should probably do that on this one. They suck the bill off the power steering because you got to take the lid off to do it. A design flaw, in my opinion. But yeah, we're going to pull this thing around the corner here. Hopefully, get this motor off here. Shortly. These are fairly easy motors to draw. As long as the kickstand is intact and comes down as it should, it'll be okay. Now, dropping these dual 300 or 3000 quick attachers really isn't that terribly hard here. The cotter pin, pull that cotter pin, pull this pin, put that latch up, and you're essentially ready to back out and away from this thing. I'm trying to figure out what this. There we go. Now that's all unpinned nice on this side. It's ready to back up. Go to the other side and do the same thing. Alright, now I'm going to try to back up a little bit and see, just make sure this stuff here is going to slide. I've got a few feet of slack on the hoses here. so we can back ourselves up a little bit just to make sure things are going to slide, and then we'll pop those loose. Hopefully this goes all right. I'm going to set you guys over here though. As you can see, I had to manually get the kickstand to flip down. It's down now. We're good. But yeah, you just full commit backing up so this thing didn't fall on the tie rod was my biggest concern. But we're good. It's unhooked. That's a little scary. I get the feeling this thing's probably going to fall down at some point. So let's stay away from that. But hey, this looks pretty darn good. Kind of really want to just take the loader mounts off now though, because I don't love how they look. And you can tell, I don't even know if these are the original loader mounts to this tractor necessarily, or what for this tractor, because that looks fabricated or fabricable. I don't know. I kind of want to just take the loader off. It'd be look a lot better, in my opinion. But we'll see. I might have a friend that wants this thing with the loader on, unfortunately. But that's a lot better looking tractor now. With no loader in the way, that is for sure. Let's pull it out in the open. And now we're out here in the open, can look at this thing a little better. Now, I think these were made 67, 68, and 69 as the 8-speed transmission came out basically the same time as the 930s got the 8-speed as well. That's kind of how I understand that to work. You could get these in a 1031, which is the row crop diesel, or 1032, which is the Western Special diesel. These are only ever diesel tractors. The 930s you can get in propane or gas, which we have had around here before. But yeah, this is the row crop 1031, actually, more or less, is how you would number that. The next year, in 1970, after the year after this one was built, they came out with the 70 series. So this is right at the end of the era, and it's not that far from the end of the serial number range for the 30 series. But this one's got 10-116s on the front, 18-434s on the rear. You could probably get them on bigger rubber. I mean, I know you can. But 451 cubic inch, non-turbo motor, Bosch injector pump. On the 70 series, they went to direct injection, not these energy cell style injectors, and the injector pump was on the other side of the motor. And just while we're thinking about it here, if you ever look at a early 70 series, like my 1070 or 970, they have the hole here in the side of the block on the left hand side for your steering, just like that, which is really interesting. And I know some guys that have swapped like 504s and other things into these over the years. Just a little bit more crude in the 30 series than the 70 series. And I think you'll find the 70 series starts better. I do notice the tie rod is not the straightest. That's okay. Yeah, sheet metal is really good on this thing, though. It just really doesn't get a whole lot better. This is some really beautiful original paint stuff going on here. This is not something, in my opinion, that would need a restoration so much as it would just need a clean and polish. I would like to maybe locate the cover that goes here on the front, just to kind of cover up that unsightly hole, which makes sense. And really, truthfully, I'm not a giant fan of it being spread out wide like it is. So I think 30, 32, 34, 36. It might be 30. I think it's 36-inch centers right now, and she's a little wide, but that's somebody else's problem, probably. If anything, we'll slide the rears in a little just so they track just edge to edge with the fronts if I decide to do anything there. Really like that I have this step here. It looks like he repainted it for me at some point in time. I see the seat bracket's been repainted. There's some overspray and stuff, which not that big a deal on this situation. But yeah, new seat cushion. Seat spring is pretty nice and cushy. I don't know, we might see about getting a filter for the power steering fluid. I do see the engine oil filter is a little older than the other two filters on this thing. So we might, than the fuel filters on this. He did say he changed the hydraulic filter, which is good. Yeah, rims are a little rusty, and I know they've got fluid in them, but that's unfortunately pretty normal. Fenders are just pretty darn nice. This one's curled back a little bit right there. Not a big deal. This one, very straight, very nice. One ding right there. Some extra holage going on. Nothing new there. Fuel tanks, got a patch in it right there, which is interesting, and damage from, I assume, a third link getting swung up into it sometime in its life, which will happen. He did say he just changed the hydraulic filter on it, which I believe is right there, I think. I don't know. Never changed one on a 30 series. It's got weights inside. Same, I think those are 400 pounders. I've got those on quite a few of my 1070s. 970s have those weights in them. Just a really solid tractor. I don't know how you complain about this. I don't have any complaints about this at all, in my opinion. Just needs maybe like a really good bath and like a scrub would go a long way on this thing. And I do know you kind of want to make sure these things get cooled down. You don't want to run them hot. You'll crack heads and stuff like that, but that's just normal actual care of things, in my opinion, that a lot of guys are bad at. So I don't know. We're going to think about dropping these loader brackets a little bit more because I sure don't like them on here. They're unsightly and they clutter the tractor that does not need the clutter, and you could lose all of this crap off of the tractor. The other side's even worse. The only thing we'd have to do is redo just a strap that goes from here over to the side of the tractor somewhere, which would be pretty easy to fabricate up with a piece of angle iron or something. That's no big deal, honestly, and we could lose this. We do have an intake or a block heater set up. It's a tank style heater, which is fine. But yeah, let's fire this thing up, take her for a spin down the road and back, and call it, I guess. Oh, gotta put that in neutral. Oh, we gotta idle that up. Foot throttles are nice on these. Put her in high range. You should probably not shift one of these on the fly, I know. Could also be fuel delivery issues. Just in general, though, really nice 1030. No complaints at all for me. Glad they got that TW20 and you get it fixed up the way they want to. But that's going to be pretty much it on this video, I would say. I'm going to end this one off right here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Would really appreciate to see some of you guys out April 24th and 25th for the tractor show at Sunflower Pioneer Power Association tractor show here in Alameda. We can talk more about that. I'll get some flyers advertised a little bit. If you're really interested in that, reach out for sure. But I'm on all the social medias as @TMontyIH. My website's territorialtrading.com. You guys have a good one. Take care. Go drag something out of the weeds and get it running.